Welcome into Teal of the Show. We have got a fun show set up for you. Today was another milestone for the Jaguars as we continue to kind of work our way through training camp. The pads officially went on for the first time. Guys get out on the field. I've got Kyle hanging out with me tonight to keep me on track. Kyle, look, it doesn't get too much more fun than that first day of pads.
Hey, but it was hot out there. I don't know how they're putting pads on, helmets with all that heat. It was not fun, so.
Hey, look, you know, you crank the heat up in more ways than one. The intensity's there as the guys continue to work closer and closer to that first preseason game. But we do have a stadium practice on Friday, which should make for an interesting Teal of the Show for us on Friday night.
It does. That is exciting. But first day of pads, Coach Cohen talked after practice. He really liked the competitiveness and kind of liked how the guys were, you know, treating each other even though they were supposed to be physical.
Yeah, I was pleased. You know, I thought that the offense came out and kind of set the tone a little bit offensively in the run game throughout the course of the day. Now, there were still some good plays here and there on both sides, but I was pleased to see physicality, but taking care of one another. Like, it didn't get sloppy or stupid. It was just good quality work. We put the pads on. That doesn't mean we have to cheap shot each other or do anything ridiculous. And I thought it was just good quality work from both sides and got our first day of pads in.
Good quality work from both sides. That's what I like to hear.
Listening to Coach Cohen talk, you got to remember he is an offensive guy at heart. They kept score, not my score, their score. Technically speaking, the defense came out ahead on the scoreboard. Offense did do some good work, but he neglected to shout out the defense, who was ahead on the scoreboard when it was all said and done, 5-4. So it was close, but the defense won.
Yeah, no, the defense looked good out there. We also, after practice, we caught up with Caleb Ransaw. Yep. And, you know, he coming over from Tulane, moving positions. You asked him about that. You also asked him about Coach Camp. And he feels like he's fitting in pretty well to where he's moving on to.
Yeah, for sure. You know, it's obviously me just being a little bit deeper. It's a different field. It's also more responsibilities, though, just playing safety. But I feel like as far as me just in football, like me playing nickel, I had a great communication role throughout the defense. I was like the centerpiece for our defense. So, I mean, it's a cool transition. It wasn't nothing hard, but obviously there's still things I need to improve on.
Does backing up actually slow it down a little bit for you? Because when you at nickel, you kind of at the line. It's like that on you.
Yeah, yes and no, just for the simple fact of, like, obviously in the league now, so it's a little bit faster. Yeah. So, in that case, but nah, it's football at the end of the day. That's how I see it, but that's really
What's it like in that safety room? I mean, they got a couple of you young guys, but this is a real veteran group in there.
Yeah, nah, it's cool, man. I'm glad I got drafted here, though. We got a good group of guys, you know, some good mentors as well that know a lot of football. So I'm good. They welcome it as well. I was just talking to somebody else about that, like how welcoming the team is.
What's Coach Camp like? I hear he's kind of intense.
Yeah, he's intense, though. I've had coaches like that, though, so I mean, I'm cool with it. I love it, though. You know, a coach that's on you like that, they want you to be able to be great, and then they got a high standard for the team, so I like that.
Coach that wants you to be great. I like that, too.
Look, Caleb Ransaw is a guy that I think by the time it's all said and done, some point during this season, we're talking about him starting at safety. Right now, he's playing a little catch-up. He's switching positions. You heard him talk about it in college. He played more corner. Now he's moving to safety. They're giving him a little bit of time there. They've been rotating those, I guess you could say, starting safeties paired with Eric Murray at one spot. But it looks like Andrew Wingard, Darnell Savage, and Antonio Johnson are really in a little bit of a battle for that other spot. Ransaw hasn't quite been able to break into the rotation just yet, but Camp's still got a long way to go. Who
do you think has the lead right now?
That's tough. I'd say probably Darnell Savage. Look, Darnell Savage, to me, looks more comfortable in this defense in just a couple of weeks than he did in the defense at all last season. I mean, today, he forced a fumble on Brenton Strange and had what should have been an interception on Trevor Lawrence. And he's had at least one other play that I can remember just like that interception play where he just got up there, got his hands on it, and dropped it during camp so far. So Darnell Savage has been making some plays on the football and is a guy that I think is firmly in that competition and might have a little bit of a lead right about now.
That's what you want, though. If you have a guy who's on the bench and you're like, how is he on the bench? That means the guy in front of him has to be playing pretty well. So.
Yeah, look, right now you got I think that safety room is sneaky. There's going to be a tough cut or two in that safety rotation because you can't keep everybody.
Yes. Also, speaking of the defense, we also talked to Tyler Lacey, defensive lineman, and he kind of talked about the new scheme that Coach Camp is bringing in, and he said it was the scheme that they needed.
What I like about the scheme, I mean, I feel like it's attacking. I mean, all the stunts and stunt work we be doing and just him blitzing people, I feel like is a good, and what we needed for especially a young team. I feel like we needed it to get after the quarterback and get after the offense. With all the stunts and stuff, I mean, I feel like that's more beneficial to us besides just staying and being a sitting target.
Get after the quarterback. That's what we want to see.
Look, I mean, seems to be the message from most of the guys, and that's what you expect them to say, is that they love the new defense. This is exactly what we needed. You like to see it. But I think a lot of them truly believe this. They didn't feel like last season's defense, especially those defensive line guys, were put in a position to succeed or given enough freedom to go out and make a play, as opposed to this defense. They got a little bit more freedom. If you see a shot, take the shot, and you just better make sure you hit the shot if you end up out of position. So I think the guys do like that they have a little bit more flexibility to go out there, be themselves, and try and make plays.
See ball, get ball.
See ball, get ball. Yep, that's it.
That's the best way to do it. Okay, so let's go ahead. Let's take a quick break, and then we'll come back. We'll play a little Teal or No Teal and take a look at some of your mailbag questions.
All right, welcome back here into Teal, the show. All right, Kyle, we're playing Teal or No Teal, right?
Teal or No Teal, and I got a couple good ones here for you today. So,
all right, what you got up your sleeve?
This is the first one. So a lot of people think Travis Hunter is going to play wide receiver more than corner, but I actually think he's a better corner than he is a wide receiver.
I'm with you. I always thought coming out of school that he was just a natural corner, and watching him play corner, it just comes so easily to him. I do think he'll play more wide receiver for the Jaguars than he ultimately plays corner, but I think he's going to be really good at both. Every time you watch him get out there on the football field, it is tough, honestly, not to be impressed with this guy. He was our defensive player of the day over the weekend when they got out there on the field. It was his full first time, most reps we've seen with him at corner, and Travis Hunter went to work. I mean, should have come up with an interception or two that day. Got his hands on a couple of footballs, just couldn't quite bring them in, but he has been honestly out there making plays. We'll see how it all shakes out when it comes to snaps. I think he's going to play a lot on offense and defense when it's all said and done, but he's honestly been really impressive at both, especially at corner, at least to me.
He's all over the place.
Yeah.
So that's a Teal.
Yeah,
You
we'll
give
give
that
it a Teal.
There we go. I'll take
half-ish
that.
Teal? But a Teal.
A half Teal? Okay.
Half Teal.
I'll take it.
All right, what else you got?
The other one I got is, so every time we're out there, one name that keeps popping up, making plays, Joshua Cephas. Had another big catch today, right over the shoulder, dropped it in there. How did the Jags get him on the field?
How do they get him on the field?
I mean, it seems like he needs to be out there. He's making plays.
Look, I think he's going to be in the rotation. I don't know if that's a Teal or a No Teal or where we're going with that one. But look, I think Cephas has been impressive so far through camp. And I think he needed to be. He came into camp as a bubble guy, and he's been really consistent. But I also think Parker Washington's had a really good camp. Christian Braswell, I mentioned Darnell Savage earlier, Devin Lloyd. There's a handful of guys out there that have really stacked some good days, and they need to. New coaching staff, so this is kind of your first impression. And for a guy like Joshua Cephas, who spent last year on the practice squad trying to make the 53 this go around, he's got to stack good days if he wants to make it. All right, mailbag, right?
Yep, mailbag. Let's get to it. Let's see. The first one we got here in the mailbag is from a Chaos Knox. What is the injury with Tootin?
Tootin is expected to be back soon, dealing with a hamstring injury. Missed his first practice today. Got a chance to talk to Bashal Tootin yesterday.
We did.
So he seems like he's doing all right. He says he feels really comfortable in this offense. Hopefully the hamstring won't keep him sidelined for too long. We know those can be ticky-tack, but Coach Cohen said he doesn't think it'll be a long thing for him.
That's good. Love to see him out there. All right, this one is from Robert Lamison. Which interior O-line looked good in screenplays?
All right, today in the pads, didn't see a ton of screenplays, but if I had a guy that stood out to me, the only one that I said, wow, is Wyatt Milam. I mean, the rookie absolutely was getting down the field in a screen just the other day. Now, this was before pads came on, but he was absolutely rolling and was out in front of the running back. So Wyatt Milam got a little bit more athleticism than maybe I gave him credit for. So he'd be the guy that I'd spotlight there.
Okay.
Yeah, and we'll have more of that. Training camp's going to continue to roll on. This was the first day of pads. The Jaguars are going to be back out on the training camp field tomorrow. If you want to keep up with everything that's going on around the team, make sure you're checking out that newsforjax.com and clicking on that handy dandy sports page. We have got a ton of training camp coverage. You want it, we got it, whether it's pictures, videos, interviews, you can track it all down there. We also do these daily mailbags that you'll be able to track down over on newsforjax.com. If you click on that handy dandy sports page, you can check out the podcast that we do each day after training camp practice, and you can also give us a follow over on Instagram. Look for Sports for Jax so you can keep up with everything while you're scrolling. We try and make it really simple. Training camp is going to continue to roll on. Friday night, we'll be back here with another Teal the Show. That one's going to be interesting because the Jaguars have their stadium practice that day. So we'll do this after the stadium practice, so we'll be able to give you a wrap-up of what happened during that, plus kind of a wrap-up of all the action from throughout the week. So make sure you hang out with us here on Teal the Show every Monday, Friday night at 11:20 right here on Channel 4. And hopefully, we'll see you same time next week. Good night, everybody.